Hi guys, this is O-level chemistry, paper 11, June 2018, question 1. A gas is less dense than air and dissolves in water. Which diagram shows the correct method of collecting this gas? Okay, so A represents a downward delivery method in which the gas that can be collected should be more dense than air and soluble in water. So this is not it. In B, we have got an upward delivery method in which the gas to be collected would be soluble in water and it would be less dense than air. So this is what we require. In C, we have got a gas collecting system, but it would not be collected properly because we are not collecting it either upwards or downwards. This is like sort of a gas syringe type of a setup. So this will not be used. And D is used for a gas that is less dense than air. Yes, but it should be insoluble in water, not soluble. So setup D is incorrect as well. So this makes option B the correct option for this question. Question 2. Which mixture can be separated into its compounds by adding water, stirring, and filtering? So, we should have a mixture of a soluble and an insoluble salt, which can be separated in this way. So, in A, we've got calcium carbonate, which is insoluble, and we've got sodium chloride, which is soluble. So, this mixture can be separated using stirring, adding water, and filtering. Next, we've got magnesium and iron. Both are metals, both are not soluble in water, so cannot be separated by filtering. Next, we've got sodium chloride, which is soluble in water, and copper sulfate, which is also soluble in water. So both are soluble salts, so they cannot be separated by filtering, so this becomes incorrect. And lastly, we've got sulfuric acid, which is soluble in water. We've got HCl, which is soluble in water. Both being soluble cannot be separated by filtering, making option A the correct option for this question. Question 3. Tests were carried out on an aqueous solution of an unknown compound P. The observations are recorded in the table. Test: aqueous sodium hydroxide added. Green precipitate soluble in excess giving a green solution. This is the presence of Cr3 positive ions. Dilute nitric acid added, then barium nitrate. White precipitate, this is sulfate ions. Because if sulfide ions were there, then this would have not given a white precipitate since we added the acid before addition of barium nitrate. And the last test, dilute nitric acid, then aqueous silver nitrate. No precipitate, absence of chloride, bromide, and iodide ions. So, which ions are present in P? Chromium, yes. Chloride, no. Chromium, yes. Sulfate, yes. Iron, no. Chloride, no. Iron 2, no. Sulfate, yes. So, the only option with both the ions correct is option B. Thus, option B is the correct option for this question. Question 4. Which substance would diffuse most quickly? So we've got two gases, carbon dioxide and neon. So MR of CO2 would be 12 plus 32, giving us 44. And AR of neon is 20. So the one with the lower mass is neon. And then temperature. So options A and B have been eliminated based on the mass of the gas. Now the temperature 0 and 25. The higher the temperature, the quicker the diffusion of the gas. So between 0 and 25, 0 is the lower temperature, 25 is the higher temperature, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 5. The ion Q2 positive has three complete shells of electrons. If it has three complete shells of electrons, it has four shells in total. Thus, it belongs to period 4. What is Q? Now we have calcium. Since it has a 2 positive charge, so it would belong to group 2 as well. Calcium has a 2 positive charge and it belongs to period 4. Magnesium has a 2 positive charge, it belongs to period 3. Oxygen has a 2 negative charge, it belongs to period 2, and sulfur has a 2 negative charge, it belongs to period 3. Therefore, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 6. The diagram shows the arrangement of particles in three solids, X, Y, and Z. The three solids are krypton, which is the noble gas, potassium, which is the group 1 metal, and sodium chloride, which is an ionic solid. Which row correctly identifies X, Y, and Z? So X has ions present in it, making it an ionic lattice. The only ionic compound in our three solids is NaCl. So options C and D contain NaCl. Options A and B have been eliminated. Okay, structure Y has positive charges and electrons between them. So this is basically the structure of a metal which has a array of positive charges and a sea of delocalized electrons. And the only metal out of the three solids we have is potassium. So Y has to be potassium and not krypton. And Z has monoatomic arrangement of atoms in a solid form because they are closely packed to each other. So this should be krypton because krypton is a monoatomic noble gas. So option D has all three X, Y, and Z stated with their correct identities, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 7. In the electrolysis of copper sulfate aqueous, what is the ionic equation for the reaction at the cathode? Cathode is where reduction takes place. We have got Cu2 positive ions present, which are less reactive than hydrogen. Thus, they will undergo reduction. They will accept 2 moles of electrons, producing copper metal. So, option A has the copper metal and copper ions in the wrong places. Option B has the correct equation present. Option C does not have copper ions reducing. And option D does not have copper ions present at all. Therefore, option B is the correct option for this question. Question 8. Ethane and ammonia are covalent compounds. The dot and cross diagrams of these compounds are shown. Which statements are correct? A molecule of ethane contains twice as many hydrogen atoms as a molecule of ammonia. Ethane has 6 hydrogen atoms. Ammonia has 3 hydrogen atoms. So 3 2s are 6. This statement is correct. An unreacted nitrogen atom has 5 outer electrons. Nitrogen belongs to group 5, so it will have 5 valence electrons. This statement is also correct. In a molecule of ethane, the bond between the carbon atom is formed by sharing 2 electrons, one from each carbon atom. Yes, the carbon-carbon single bond is a covalent bond. Therefore, each carbon atom is sharing one of its electrons in the common bond. So, option 3, yes, statement 3 is also correct. If all three statements are correct, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 9. Which statement is correct? All compounds are ionic? No. Covalent and macromolecular compounds also exist. All compounds conduct electricity when molten. Only ionic compounds do. Each element only contains one type of atom. Yes, an element is an atom of a single element, obviously. An atom of a single element is an element. Yes. In a mixture of substances, the proportions of the substances are always the same? No. They could vary with as many different possibilities as possible. So for this question, the correct option is option C. Question 10. When one volume of gas R reacts with exactly 5 volumes of oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide and water only. So all of these being hydrocarbons, we can use the general combustion equation in which the moles of oxygen are given by x plus y upon 4, where x is equal to the number of carbon atoms and y equals to the number of hydrogen atoms. So in A, we have got butane. So x would be 4, y would be 10. So the formula would be 4 plus 10 upon 4, which is 2.5 plus 4, giving us 6.5 moles of oxygen for compound A. In B, we have the hydrocarbon C2H6, in which X is 2 and Y is 6. So 6 upon 4 gives 1.5. 2 plus 1.5 gives us a value of 3.5 moles of oxygen for compound B. For compound C, we got X being 1 and Y being 4. So it would become 1 plus 4 upon 4. 4 upon 4 is also equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 gives us 2 moles of oxygen. And for compound D, where X is 3 and Y is 8, we get the equation 3 plus 8 upon 4. 8 upon 4 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5, giving us 5 moles of oxygen, which is the requirement of this question, making option D the correct option for this question.